granddaughter. Oh, which one, says he? Mary, says I. The one that's married to that fine Italian-American chap. What's his name?
What are you so happy about?
I got a date. Where's Mary?
Now, how am I supposed to know? Which reminds me, where is your daughter?
At home with the Petrolinos. She was supposed to meet me here 10 minutes ago.
Home with who?
The family that lives below us on Weehawken Street. They babysit. The mother does. I guess maybe I'm early.
No, if you needed a babysitter, you could have brought her to us. I mean, you don't have to leave her with strangers.
I don't suppose you called. Ryan loves the Petrolinos. It's good for her to stay with someone besides her grandparents. Look, will you forget about Ryan and focus on Mary? Did she leave any message for me?
No. Forget my own granddaughter. I don't believe you said that to me.
Guess where I'm taking your daughter this evening.
I haven't the vaguest idea.
Well, it begins with B and it ends in ING, and you'd love to come with us. Championship.
Bowling. I don't much like guessing games, Finelli.
Boxing.
What? Wait a minute. There's no decent fight tonight. Not in this town, anyway.
Right. Jersey.
Oh.
Middleweights. Main event's going to be terrific. You ever hear of a comer named Marley?
Wait a minute, I think. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he's very good.
Oh, yeah, very good. He's so good, there's no more of these left. Ringside seats, Mary and me.
If Mr. Ross does get in, and we have that conference in the morning, what time will it be?
9 a.m. in the morning. That's the earliest. But then maybe he'll go from Chicago to Los Angeles, and we won't see him till the end of the week. Oh. Now, that's wishful thinking, Phyllis.
I know it's peaceful with the boss away, but I must admit that I hope he shows up. I won't really feel part of the Channel 1 news until I meet Thatcher Ross.
Well, I guess that's what a new job will do. Night.
Do what?
Oh, make you crazy. Enthusiastic. Well, hi. Hello. Welcome back. See you tomorrow.
Yeah. Senator Ryan's sister?
I'm Mary Ryan Finelli. Are you Mr. Ross?
I am. I understand we'll be working together.
Yes, and I'm really looking forward to it. Phyllis tentatively scheduled a meeting for us tomorrow morning at 9. Is that okay with you?
Well, now is an even better time. We've got a lot to do before tomorrow morning. I'm sure you know there's more to television news than just smiling nicely for the camera.
As a judge, I have to make the most informed decisions I possibly can. Whatever you have to tell me about the Bolak adoption, I'm interested.
Thank you.
Now, how is it that your political future ties in with the matter?
The child involved, Edmund.
Yeah.
He's my son.
I see.
I've loved his mother for years. I fully expected to marry her after the election, at which point Edmund would have become a public fact of my life. Brother to my 4-year-old boy, and not the last child Jill and I had hoped to have. But it didn't work out. I won't waste your time with the ups and downs of that story, but it's important for me to say that I am still hurt enough, I am still angry enough to have biased feelings about Dr. Bolak. I admit that, Your Honor, and I expect you to weigh that along with everything else I say.
I understand. Yeah.
The other side of the coin is that I love Edmund. I care very much about him. And I am afraid of Seneca Bolak's becoming his legal parent.
Senator, I have so many questions running through my mind, I hardly know where to begin.
Jump right in.
Now, I take it this is a preamble to some facts, some real reasons why I should question Dr. Bolak's merits as an adoptive father.
Yes, it is. But before I get into that, I wanted to make sure that you understood exactly where I am coming from.
Of course, and I'm grateful that you did. Because already there seems to be discrepancies between your statements and Mrs. Bolak's.
Really?
Ordinarily, I don't recall an interview that vividly, but she was here just a few hours ago. And I distinctly remember her saying that she had no emotional relationship with the child's natural father. Now, I assumed that the child wasn't involved with him, with you, either. But that isn't the case.
I have seen very little of Edmund since June. Before that, I visited with him often. Then, for several months, Jill and I lived together. We shared the baby then. I was his father. The last time I saw Edmund was in the hospital. He was seriously ill in August.
You were seeing him as recently as a few months ago?
Yes, but not on a regular basis. The campaign got in the way. Or I should say I let it get in the way. In any event, Jill, the public life squeezed out my private life, and Jill turned to Dr. Bolak. Meanwhile, Edmund has been closer to my parents than he has been with me.
Your parents?
Yeah, they have a wonderful attitude, and Jill's managed to separate her feelings for them from the mess with me. Jill wants them to be Edmund's grandparents. She just doesn't want me to be his father.
Well, this is a much more complex situation than I imagined. Not one word of this was mentioned this afternoon.
I'm glad I came straight to you instead of going through regular channels.
You weren't notified of the adoption proceedings?
No, I was not.
Technically, of course, it isn't required. But under these circumstances...
Your Honor, in all fairness to Jill, well, our views about the subject, about the circumstances, have to differ. She is saying what she believes to be the truth. She is doing what she thinks to be the right thing to do. I don't question her honesty at all. I do question Seneca Bolak's.
Well, go on.
Seneca is a man who has to be in control of the people around him. It's a fundamental personality trait. Anyone who looks at his past can see that trait demonstrated time and time again. Now, you may or may not want to consider the past. I leave that to you. My only concern is with the future.
I understand.
And given Seneca's overbearing personality and the strong woman that Jill is, I am very much afraid that that marriage will not last.
You foresee a conflict of wills?
I do, with Edmund torn apart, if Seneca has any legal authority over him at all.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only reason why I'm here. Did they tell you that there was some confusion as to who was Edmund's father?
Yes. Dr. Bolak believed he was.
Did he tell you when he realized the truth that he was not?
No.
Dr. Bolak had occasion to check out blood types shortly after the baby was born. When Edmund was 1 month old, Seneca discovered that he could not be the father. He knew I was the only alternative. He also knew that Jill and I were discussing marriage again at that time, wondering whether or not I could raise another man's son. Agonizing we did. Finally, we broke up. One of the reasons being was that we could not agree to Seneca's rights as a father.
At what point did you find out the truth?
Almost a year later.
A year?
Edmund was born in March. The following January, when Seneca felt that I was safely out of Jill's life, he allowed her to know that I had fathered Edmund. It was the truth, yes, but it was under his terms, under his control. The rest of us be damned.
Yet the lady married him.
That's where the campaign began to get in the way. Now, we're back to opinion now. Again, a biased opinion. But I think Jill married Seneca to strike out at me. I think she'll divorce him when she wakes up, or at least try to. And I think Seneca will use every trick in the book to prevent that. If he has adopted Edmund, he will use Edmund.
What is it you'd like me to do?
All I ask, Your Honor, is that you not grant the adoption until you are sure of the marriage.
How can I be sure when there's only a 6-month waiting period? That's impossible.
Maybe the waiting period could be extended a little while longer. Maybe you could have your investigator look into the case a little more fully. Your Honor, it's the single most important thing I can do for my son.
I understand. Perhaps a year rather than the 6 months.
Whatever time you think is sufficient for the marriage to prove itself. That's all.
Well, I appreciate your taking me into your confidence. It puts the case in a very different light.
I appreciate your listening, sir.
Do I go on the air tomorrow?
Are you prepared to?
Well, not in terms of a feature, no, but with just the news I could.
And why don't you wait until you are prepared?
Fine, I'm not in a hurry here. It's just that I have to be home soon. So if you don't mind, I'd rather we started working during working hours. How about 8 a.m.?
Working hours? Now, what are those? Is that something that you've settled on with Mrs. Woodard?
No, Mr. Ross. Mrs. Woodard isn't the head of the news department. You are, but...
No, but Mrs. Woodard is the station owner. That entitles her to preempt my authority on occasion, apparently.
We have a little problem here, don't we?
I'm afraid I might, but I'm not sure yet.
Well, at least I'm on square one.
Thanks to Mrs. Woodard, or Senator Ryan, or both, I really know very little about how you were placed at Channel 1.
I'm a good news person. I was good on Channel R. I'll be even better here. I know the basics, and I'm ready to learn. As a matter of fact, I was looking forward to learning from you, which is why I wish that you had hired me, or at least been in town to okay Mrs. Woodard hiring me.
Well, my first point of information for you is that we don't have official working hours around here. We simply do what has to be done.
Got it.
And I travel periodically. Last week it was Chicago.
This week, Los Angeles. Yes, Phyllis mentioned that.
I'm flying out tomorrow morning.
Which leaves today or tonight for work.
Aha. You put that together very nicely. Now, about the job, I've decided that your area will be in-depth exploration of local issues
Good.
such as...
I was thinking about doing a 5-piece segment on working mothers, how they manage their career and their family and so on. Thousands of New York women are doing it somehow.
Local issues such as schools. It's very difficult to talk when you interrupt.
Yes, I noticed that last time. You interrupted me. I'm sorry. Go on.
Schools with problems, schools with solutions, activist parents, unusual administrators.
You, driving? To the fights.
No, tubes. Take a bus. Maybe a taxi.
You're gonna run into traffic.
We got plenty of time.
You again?
Hey, what's the matter with you? Don't you ever leave home?
Will you stop picking on her, Finelli? Hi, sweetheart.
Yeah, quit beating on me. It's all right, Daddy. We're just kidding.
Mwah.
I saw him here at lunch, too.
Yeah? But he's not gonna be here for dinner. He's just passing through. On his way to Jersey.
He's jealous. I made him jealous. It was fun.
Jack, you're cruel. How did you do it?
I just told him that I was taking Mary to a great fight tonight.
At home or boxing? I'm jealous, too. I love the fights.
Well, I'd take along, but I don't have another ticket.
Oh, Mary'd choke you if you did. I gotta find my own pal with tickets. Not that I'm complaining, mind you. Between reading up on family planning and avoiding my mother, my night times are about as full as I can stand. Where is Mother?
Well, Johnny said she stopped by the church to light a candle for Tom and Faith.
No change? Well, maybe she's praying for her sister in Ireland, too. Annie. She's been sick.
Well, Mary and I met Annie when we went over there. Your father didn't tell me anything about her being sick. Nobody tells me anything.
Oh, poor Jack. Doesn't get to sit around and be dreary with the rest of us. Lucky stiff.
Take me back to Palm Beach, please.
What's up?
Woodard Publications hit me with a financial report on my first day back. Now I ask you, is that fair?
Nope, not fair.
What did you get hit with on your first day back?
The works.
Meaning?
Meaning I have a lot of things to do before I go down to Washington for the senatorial orientation.
Well, that should be exciting. Called the office to find out where you were. Georgia said you were out taking care of business, but you wouldn't tell me what it was.
It's family stuff. You know, I wish I could take you back to Palm Beach.
Do you? Well, you've got Washington to look forward to, and it should be a few degrees warmer. Then you'll be without your constant companion for 3 whole days. Now, won't that feel good?
I don't want to get away from you, and I don't want to shut you out. Now, the family thing came up when I went over to see the folks in Little John. Delia was there, and she gave me some news I really did not need. Seneca's adopting Edmund, or at least he's trying to. He's already filed a petition.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. He's going after my kid.
I don't suppose my response will come as any surprise to you.
Don't. I know the facts of life, but I'm entitled to my response.
Of course, I just don't want you to be completely and unshakably miserable, that's all.
Limited misery, then. Give me 10 or 12 hours. I'll snap out of it.
Oh, Frank, the man who marries Edmund's mother has got to act as his father. It's not a surprise to you. The son for you to focus on now is Little John. How is he?
He's beautiful.
Is that where you were before? When I tried to call out with him?
Delia also announced that she's reopening the custody case of Little John. She wants him to come live with her.
Oh, well, now that is absolutely ridiculous. Roger would die before he'd have a 4-year-old underfoot.
Oh? Well, anyway, she means business.
Well, so do we. Look, she may be married and relatively sane for the moment, but you are a United States Senator, and if you want custody of your son, you'll have it. In place of one oddball mother shrouded in fur, we give the court the perfect nanny, a veritable Mary Poppins prepared to take care of Little John's every need. I'll find her for you. If I can't find her, I'll create her.
Sculpt her out of $100 bills, huh?
If necessary, yeah.
There's only one thing wrong, Ray. This time Delia has a good case. She can provide a stable home. She stands a good chance of winning.
Frank, don't even say that. Look, if she's stable, you're the Rock of Gibraltar. Whatever strategy she comes up with will go her one better.
Look, I can say I'm the Rock of Gibraltar, but suppose the court notices that it isn't true.
Then you and I will make it true.
All I need is that Mary Poppins, right?
Yeah. Now, don't worry. I will help you counter her suit anyway and at any cost. Look, there isn't anything I wouldn't do to bring you and Little John together under the same roof.
Suppose I took one particular school every few months and did a 5-minute segment on it, nightly for 1 solid week. I could go into the kids, the teachers, the parents, what kind of special programs they have, what works, what doesn't. It might be watched for.
Yeah, well, I only mentioned schools as an example.
Yeah, but I like the idea. Plus, I have an excellent contact in the public system. Her name's Ethel Green, and she knows everything from the PTA to the school boards. I met her through Frank's campaign.
A supporter of his.
Now, yes, she wasn't before. Is that a problem?
Mrs. Woodard was your brother's campaign manager. You were his press secretary. But I must impress upon you that Channel 1 News has no political loyalties, will contact anyone, will interview anyone. Now, who they voted for doesn't matter.
Does who they're related to matter? Excellent, because I'd hate to think that you discriminate against the brother of a criminal or the sister of a senator. I function independently, Mr. Ross, and I don't care if you don't like me, but don't insult me, please.
Your politics are in the right place. Let's go back to schools.
If you want to continue, I have a phone call to make.
There's the phone.
To fight night.
Fight night. Mary's late, a murder.
In the 3rd round.
Hello, Ryan. Hey, Mary. How's it going on the job?
It's fine. Is Jack there?
Yeah, he's here. Listen, did you have a good day?
Very, but it isn't over yet.
Oh, well, don't fret, darling. It always takes a little more time when you're first learning the ropes.
Hi. Listen, I got tickets to the fights. We're leaving 10 minutes ago. Hurry up, will you?
I'm not going to be able to swing it, honey. Mr. Ross just got into town, and he's leaving in the morning. I just called to tell you to go on home, and I'll talk to you there, okay? Is Ryan still at the Petrolinos?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Look, why don't you just change the tickets till tomorrow? You were right about your prediction, by the way.
Look, if Ross is giving you a hard time, you give it right back. Tell him it's after working hours and clear out.
Not possible. I'll talk to you later.
Good night, Mary. Hey, come on. I got an extra ticket after all.
Oh, terrific! Night, Daddy.
Hey, wait a minute. Where are you two going? Hey!
What if you could change your past? Erica does, every week, because sometimes the only way to move forward is to go back. A new original primetime drama, Being Erica, Thursdays at 10 on SoapNet.